That's right. Two? What the hell? Two? Hello, Case. Hello, Case. Hello, Case.
There's a lot of me today.
Welcome to Call Kass, ladies and gentlemen. It must be Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. 6 p.m. Pacific time. Welcome to the show.
Pacific.
So nice to be here on the shelf in the back of your local Castronics warehouse. That used to be that place you'd hang out at high school. Now, it's a Hollywood storage. It's a dump.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show. I'm so glad to be here. I'm Kass, and that's Case. Hello, Case.
Hello. I'm on both sides of you, Kass.
I'm
flanking you.
I feel like I'm getting ganged up on, like you're those velociraptors. Clever boy.
There you go.
Was there a new part of the opening there? I felt like there was a world that I saw. It said Call Kass. Was that new? Or has that always been there?
I think that's been there. It's just such an overwhelming opening. You're just finding new things every time.
I love watching it. I wish the intro, the pre-show was 10 minutes long. I honestly would watch 30 minutes of the pre-show. We come on, take calls for 20 minutes, and then we outro with more outshow. Do you know?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
It's great to see ya. Great to see chat. You guys, I will be. I'm gonna find. Hey, there's Joe Biden. What the fuck, Joe fucking Biden.
This is the downside of having this run on my channel too. Is all of my alerts are.
I like this. No, I like.
You just kind of popping in to say
Come
hi.
on, Jack. All the subs and stuff I will be getting to at the end of the episode, which will be in about an hour and a half-ish. If it was last week, it was a 2-hour show. So don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm just trying to keep the top of the show just show. But I really appreciate everyone who tunes in, and some of you have been subscribed for 2 years. Wowee. We're going to open up the lines in just a little bit, but first of all, we're going to be getting through some voicemails. We've had some voicemails pile up over the last, 2 months. And we got through a good chunk of them the other week, and we're going to try and finish them today.
Week too.
Oh,
we got some fresh ones.
If you want to call, and you don't want to call live into the show, but you want to leave a voicemail, you can call off hours, 844-721-KASS. There is a message. I think you just leave it after the beep. I don't know. Did you leave a recording saying leave a message, or is it just an auto thing?
I think it's Kendall's voice, actually, that tells
Oh, hell yeah.
And I think it says the show is to be determined what it's called.
Awesome. You guys, I saw just went to Halloween Horror Nights. How was it? Anything new? What were your highlights, lowlights?
I think it was all new. I didn't see a repeat maze. Kendall, was it all new mazes this year? Oh, okay. The mazes change even when it's the same premise. I thought it was honestly really fun, but like if you get the front of the pass stuff or the fast pass stuff, I think it's like an easy time. It's super crowded.
Yeah,
it's like the most crowded Universal ever is. But if you're a fan of like kind of cheesy Halloween stuff,
of course,
it's like that turned up to 1,200, or turned up to 5,000.
It's a 5,000. I love the set design. Obviously, there's also like a smell that comes with those mazes that, like, I don't know if it's like part fog machine, part like
Chat's
rubber.
Pointing it out, and Kendall pointed this out too. Apparently, they like to make some of the mazes smell like shit. The Texas Chainsaw maze this year smells. It's not even quite shit. It's like fart gas. They're just pumping fart gas in there. If you've ever been pranked with fart gas, the classic fart gas prank, they're doing that too the whole time.
That's pretty rock and roll. That's punk. What was the?
Yeah, they're like, we don't give a fuck.
What was the best maze? Because remember when we went, obviously I think The Last of Us was kind of like a crowd favorite, but there were some sleepers. What would you like this year?
My favorite maze, and I don't think it'll be anyone else's, is in the same spot that The Last of Us maze was in. It was their generic zombies are attacking maze. It's just like zombie infection. It's purely my favorite because there's one room where there's a gorilla. And unfortunately, my stream kind of was like being wonky while we were in the gorilla room.
Oh, you were
the
streaming
was
it.
Just going fucking ham. He like started dancing with us and he was throwing brains around. Anyway, for me, that was way the best.
That's great. You love somebody who's giving their all in the performance because they can just, they can give you 70% and just be invited back next year, but the guys that are doing 100% over and over and over and over really need some attention and some love.
You're shit. Sorry, I'm still not used to your subscribe message.
I'll never get tired of it. I'll get the subs at the end of the show. What was the big one this year? If Last of Us was when we went, what was the big one this year?
Apparently the big one, and I do think it had the most impressive set design, was Ghostbusters. Unfortunately, it's based on the Ghostbusters movie that I feel like statistically 0% of anyone saw.
Yes.
You might be able to prove me wrong, Kass, by saying you definitely did see it, but
I did not
I never
see
saw
it.
and I didn't hear anything about it. I saw previews and I completely forgot it was coming out.
I know it's like a Frozen theme. Everything freezes over.
Yeah. It had just kind of cool little knickknacks everywhere. It had actors that were in like fully frozen gear and stuff. It had like a big demon, like kind of impressive semi-animatronic costume. That was sort of cool.
Yeah, I think it's so funny how some of the IPs that we don't really like or watch or have caught up on sometimes have the better mazes. I wonder if it's, I don't know, do you think they put more money into those because those are big blockbusters, thinking that more people will go see them? Then I'd like to know, I guess my question is like the budget per maze. Like the Monsters of Latin America does not have the same budget of Ghostbusters Frozen Ice New York, you know?
Probably not. Although also one of my favorite was once again the Monsters of Latin America. I wish I could remember the name, but there was some guy named like Culo, the father of nightmares, and it just kept saying that again and again and again.
I think if you ever go to those and you don't have a front of the line pass, I would hit all the small ones because those are sleepers and you can get more maze in. First of all, don't go there unless you don't have a front of the line pass. Unless like you're, I don't know, in high school and you're with a group of friends and it's just about being out and you're like, maybe you're on a date or something. But if you're there to see mazes, you're going to see 10 mazes with the front of the line pass, and without the front of the line pass, you're going to see 2, maybe 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were beyond 90-minute waits. So it is more expensive, but I think if you can afford it at all, it's a way better way to go. El Cucuy, thank you, Bundle Sprout, was the name of the Spanish monster this year. El Cucuy, the father of nightmares.
Yeah, check out Case's TikTok and Kendall's TikTok. They've made some content, very fun. I like when you guys, you're doing your Halloween content. Never fails to impress. I enjoy it. I missed the stream, apparently. I guess you streamed.
We did. You lose the stream a lot in the mazes. I honestly, it makes me wonder if we busted out your backpack cam, what would happen, Kass? But I think maybe you'd lose it anyway because it's like big concrete buildings.
I forget I have that. I gotta... You know what's so funny is like Avali, it was like, hey, I have somebody who may want to buy this. This was like maybe a year ago. I was like, nah, I may use it. It's just sat in the shelf for a full year. Not even a thought has entered my mind to even pick that up and reactivate it into a whole thing. So I don't think that's, I don't think I'm gonna use it. But I do feel like maybe they'll come out with like a better unit that'll make it more reliable, and then I'll be like, oh, maybe if I just upgrade this piece, I can go out and use it more, and that's, so far that's not the case. But if any of you need a backpack cam setup, let me know. I may be able to part with it for a decent price.
Maybe someday we'll get quantum fiber, quantum entanglement Wi-Fi. I was watching some video on how quantum computing is going to change how we receive like encrypted radio signals. So, you know, just upgrade to that whenever that comes out.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but I am very much into it. There's also talk about quantum signals. I don't know if you've heard this, but there is and we'll get to the voicemails right after this. But there is apparently there's a rumor, obviously, and these rumors kind of are pretty frequent in the UFO world. But they are very close to announcing that they have detected bio and techno signatures from a planet 40 light years away, and we're in a race with China to see who's going to announce it first. Like, I think they found it, and now they're doing their due diligence and making sure that it's real, like a real thing. They've been doing that for like the last 6 months to a year, and so that's the hot rumor right now, is that and then some people are like, oh, they're already communicating with that planet via quantum communication, which they can just say those words and I go, oh yeah, but I don't know if that's real or not. But for those of you that are into the UFO world and knowing what the new current weekly topic is, that's the new one on top of a new jellyfish video that just dropped. And maybe on Wednesday's Patreon, I'll show you these videos and get your live reacts to the newest, hottest UAP videos.
Much like the government, we're hiding all the best videos behind an impenetrable gate.
Yeah.
Patreon.
Don't worry. We will bring you the truth this way. And it is, I can do Wednesday. Did you say you potentially might have to push because of your Amazon gig, or are you good for
No,
Wednesday?
I'm actually good, it turns out. And I have Amazon on Thursday, Friday, so I just won't be able to potentially shift to those days.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Sure. No problem. We'll work it out. I think for the next 2 weeks I'm good on Wednesday, and if we need a shift to a Tuesday night or something, I'm good to do that as well. Okay.
I'm just working for free for Amazon. I just love Jeff Bezos, so I'm sort of volunteering for Amazon currently.
Jeff's a dad. He's a zaddy.
Just so cool. Yeah.
Jeff's a zaddy.
I like bald daddies.
Kevin's gonna be in town this week too. He's coming in. Get to see Kevin for the first time in a while. Yeah.
That's chat.
This is.
Should we hear some of these voicemails?
Yeah, let's do some of these voicemails. Card King, thank you. I'm gonna get to all the subs at the end, but I love being showered with subbies. It's voicemail time.
I have to kind of remember where we stopped, but maybe we haven't heard this one. Let's see.
Okay.
5,000 creamies, please.
I think we did hear this one. That might have been where we stopped. Let's see if we've heard this one.
He looked like he was
Kass,
under
This
duress.
is Chris from South Dakota, bumfuck nowhere. How come I never hear you talk about the Y-Files? You love that alien shit, yet you never bring up one of the best channels on YouTube?
Interesting.
You got to annoy Lawrence, and you got to annoy Bruce with this shit, man. Take care.
It's a good question. There's somebody who didn't used to tune into my streams because we would watch Y-Files on the streams, but that's okay. I don't bring them up because, I don't know. They are reporting on, or at least AJ from the Y-Files, their videos are on subjects. So I'd rather just bring up the subject as opposed to the Y-Files introducing the subject, if that makes any sense. I will say the Y-Files is a very well-produced show. It's a weekly show, and every week that they're
the little fish.
Yeah, it's the one with the little fish. He's got a cute little sidekick. They are pretty well researched, and they do a very good job of presenting a story, a case, or whatever, even a whole subject with a bunch of different things in it. The stuff I don't like about AJ is that I don't care if you're a conservative or not. He is a little more right-leaning. He was kind of like an anti-mask kind of guy when the whole COVID thing was happening, and he and the guys that would tune into my chat kind of know that he drops it into the videos every once in a while, and I don't like that. It's just a lot of almost it's a little anti-vaxxy, it's a little anti-masky, and small government, that is just that kind of thing. And I believe when you have a channel that size, God forbid you have some sort of a platform, and you have a responsibility to inform people with. I get that's asking way too much of people these days, but I don't like when people use their platforms that they collected via talking about UFOs and monsters and shit, and then they sprinkle in their ideologies, and I don't like that. And then the other thing I don't like is,
especially with fringe ideologies, how you kind of have a captive audience that's sort of open to some more abstract ideas, and then you just kind of needle them with white supremacy light.
It's it is, we say dog whistle, you always see dog whistle here and there. It is that though. Like if you are subscribed to that ideology, you perk up when he says certain things, and then you go, that's my guy, he knows. The other thing is that he's like pretty big into the AI scene, and he uses and has used like celebrity voices as like narration in his videos without giving credit, or like he uses like Runway and like Midjourney like to make it's just like he has so much stuff that he has to do on a weekly basis that I understand that you're trying to use AI to like shortcut stuff, but like it's become, at least for a while, was the majority. When there wasn't stock footage or licensed footage or pictures, he fills the gaps in with AI imagery and video, and he rips people's celebrity voices. It just seems like sort of like a fuck you to Hollywood, and I get that's like kind of cool for certain people, but like that's what the strike was about. It's just like he seems like he's not he's like using whatever shortcut he can to make as much money as possible at the end of it. It's like it seems a little greedy, it seems selfish, but his end product is good, and the videos are thoroughly researched. He does have a research team, and so it's tough, like, because you like to watch the new Y-Files video, but I don't really like to support the man, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I loved Asmongold's opinions on World of Warcraft. Some of his other opinions that have...
It's so funny, because I didn't know who he was a year ago. Him saying something about Palestinians, or just like some...
I mean, he used to just be like... which is insane.
Unreal. I think it just seems... It's I don't know. For like every Hassan, the inferior race thing once. He like said it debase a whole ethnicity. He's got his looks to fall back on. Come on. I was watching that clip of him saying all that stuff, and then in the views and subscribers, it's just... And then
and like if you put the right person in front of him, his opinions will probably just shift in whatever direction of the person he's hanging out with.
Yeah. Yeah, we're calling that
Rogan
Rogan
I just need to
brain.
become his
That's
best friend, chat. He might not have liked any of the bits I wrote for that one thing I did with his organization, but I just have to become his best friend.
Dude, next time you do something like that, you gotta like make him say some stuff. You know what I mean? But like slyly. Make him say something he wouldn't normally say, and then you can use it against him. But I feel like he's the type of guy. Let me ask you this, okay? I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Did you write anything, and then he looked it over and was like, I'm not gonna say this?
Oh, 90% of what we wrote. Yeah. I wrote like a whole comedy, essentially, Attack of the Show episode for their award thing, and like almost none of it made it in. Cool. Some of it due to budgetary, just logistical realities, which of course I was not considering very carefully, but yeah, he also nixed like 90% of it. Cool, man. Which honestly, I'm not even mad at that. Like,
he's got his image.
If it's not in the voice of you, you really should say no.
He's got his image to worry about. Cool. All right. Well, I don't think we're Asmongold fans.
He does need to protect that image for sure.
He's got to protect it. I'm seeing all the subs. I'm going to thank you guys at the end. Case, why don't we get to some another voicemail there? I think.
Yeah. This one's 2 seconds, which worries me, but I'm just gonna.
It's just gonna be a hang up. I'm gonna guess it's just gonna be a click.
Either a hang up or a slur. We're gonna find out.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. It was a telemarketer just hanging up. I don't know what that
was.
Okay. Here's a more full one.
Hi, Cream Team. This is WillKill93 from the Cream Team Discord.
Hey, Will.
Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you very much for continuing to do what you do. I was just wondering if you guys still have that P.O. box open. Because we had a postcard that I was going to send to you.
Oh, boy.
I sent you one a while back, my girlfriend and I, but we were thinking we'd send you another one. All right, thank you. Take care.
Oh,
Bye.
Will, I'm so sorry. Our mailbox, and I told this told the story a couple of weeks ago. I went to the mailbox to go pick up a bunch of packages, and my key didn't work. I go to the guy at the window, and I say, hey, my key's not working. He's like, what's your name? What's the mailbox under? I'm like, oh, Cream Team. I'm Kass. Is it under Kass? Fiona? Cream Team? Yeah, I was like, Cream Team, because there's always a long line, and there's like there's no like line you have to stand behind. You just like everyone's just right out your neck. And I was like, Cream Team, and he's like, no. Turns out that the box was expired No one ever notified me or sent me, called me and said, hey, you got to re-up this or anything. I had no idea. And then they just stopped taking all my mail. If you sent us something, they said it all got sent back. So, yeah, that's the story. And we haven't reopened one just because I don't know if having that box open was a good idea or not. I can reopen it if that's something that people really want, but that's sort of what happened. So I apologize, Will, if you sent a postcard and it got sent back to you. Why don't you take a picture of it and upload it?
I might honestly open one for fun myself. Also, it could be useful on occasion for me to have one, but I'm gonna wait till I move, so I don't know when that'll be. I should say I'm gonna do it in 2 years at this point.
If you don't do one, then I'll just open up another one in the name of the Cream Team. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll get it. Yeah, we'll have a bin
cream
box. Yeah, great.
Yeah, it lived a long and full life, but it was sick and it had to be put down.
Should we, while you're doing these voicemails, can we open up the show to get some people in there?
Let's freaking do it.
Let's get in there. It's possible Dank Sauce is gonna be call screening. Call us 844-721 Kass. Call us with anything. What's going on with you? What's happening in your neck of the woods? Have you heard about any of the UAP sightings recently? There's apparently a crash in DC. That's right. 844-721 Kass. Call us. What's going on? Were you affected by the hurricane? Where are you at in the election? Are you worried? Are you stoked? Are you hopeful? It's open lines tonight on Call Kass.
They are as open as they can be, as that graphic would suggest. All right, we got 3 more voicemails.
All right, yeah, let's do the voicemails. But call in
between them.
And you'll get queued up, and then we'll take you in order that you guys called in.
Sounds good.
Hey, Cage, Chasm, what's up, guys?
What's up?
First-time caller, long-time listener. I've been lurking for years and want to say I love the show, love Old G4, love what you guys do. So thank you for everything. I do miss the jet stream, but the production quality.
We heard this one. Yeah. I remember him calling it the jet stream.
Awesome. I just wanted to call in and say that I had never heard of you before G4. And being an OG fan of G4, I was really stoked when it came back. Now I know it had its critics, you know, that really hated it and didn't want it to succeed, and were very happy when it failed. But I'm not going to lie, I'm glad that I learned about you on that show. I thought you and Kevin had some great chemistry. I really enjoyed a lot of the bits. I really enjoyed seeing you guys just, you know, back in action as far as, you know, just all the different stuff you guys did. I can't even get into how excited I was about it when it came back. I did want to say that once I learned about you from there, I did go down the Pajama Pants podcast.
Good boy.
And I started at the very first one and listened all the way up until Rob essentially fled California to get away from the democratic policies that are out here. So I guess I do have a question. Is how does it make you feel knowing that Rob and Jamie are going to be voting for Trump and you're here in California hoping that Kamala Harris wins?
Well, it's first.
Great question.
First of all, wonderful compliment. I love when people dug the new iteration of G4 because I and I've said this before, I really thought our show was great, and that was in large part due to Case as our head writer and only writer, and folks like Kevin and Sessler, who were like, it was a tough job to come into a legacy program or with, like, you know, an IP that people were had very strong feelings about and were very nostalgic about, and be the newer version of it. And I always knew there was gonna be people that were like, nah, dude, fuck, bring back the old shit, more tits. And I was also one of those people. would have loved more tits.
The whole time, Kass.
Yeah, I was just trying to bring it back to the old stuff. But one of the, the greatest gift that came out of that whole thing was meeting folks like Kass and Kevin and Fiona, and we dug each other so much that we just kind of kept doing a thing together after, and that's been a real pleasure. And then I look back at our time fondly. I really do. I don't regret a single thing that we did. I don't think we made a bad show. Very proud of the product that we made, and again, and as fun as it looked like we were having on the show, we were having that much fun. I like it. It wasn't it wasn't fake. It wasn't like we fucked around so much before and after the shows. It was just a really sweet experience, and it was just a shame. We could have got another year out of it, dude. This is fucking suits up at NBC, those fuckers. But
I think
it was
it
really
being
great.
so poorly plotted and planned, though, it gave us a lot of freedom that we probably wouldn't have had otherwise, and it was like insanely loose. So in a way, it was born to die, baby.
It was born to die. Yeah.
Burn fast.
When you think about it, it's like, I don't know how Will Neff did any of that. Like when you see him and his stream, it's like, oh, this guy streams all the time. But I didn't really understand streaming. I didn't get what it was like. But he would
I'd be way more qualified now to do what we were doing back then. Now that I've streamed,
so funny, right? Yeah. But then he would always show up, left so fucking tired, and we're like, what are you fucking tired about? He's like, streaming on that, and it was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then, he was he had 2 full-time jobs, it was interesting. And now, having streamed for the last couple years, it's like, oh God, you do one 2-hour stream. You're like, oh, I need a vacation. So yeah, it was good.
I just can't be in front of the camera that often. I don't know how they do it. If I'm on a 4-hour stream, I'm like, my brain.
Yeah, it's tough. I think that's where guys like Asmongold really have an edge. Do you know what I mean? I think that's okay. Hear me out. You're good for 2 hours to be apolitical or just not racist. You can do that for 2 hours. But if you're an Asmongold and you're streaming 8 hours a day, you lose all that. You lose the ability to be apolitical.
Maybe at 6 hours, you and I would both just start doing rants, and we don't even know where they're coming from.
We don't know. We don't do it at our 24-hour streams. We started to lose it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We lost it.
I guess to be fair, my stream is particularly prone to drive me insane because I'm sort of submitting to multiple personality disorder. But
yeah.
I think it's really just trying to keep your brain on for 8 hours in a performative way. It's crazy. I don't know. I honestly don't know how the Wills of the world do it.
It would be for sure easier if we were seeing the same money that they were. I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. You need me to fucking...
Yeah, maybe.
I think it'd be a little easier. The motivation would make it easier. I'm not saying it would be easier, but the drive to do it as long would help. There was a second part of that question, or that call. It was about pajama pants in the election. So funny enough, we just saw Jamie's in town. I just saw Jamie last night. We visited her and her fam. And I just talked to Rob today. To be honest, and on a serious note, I don't know who they're voting for. I know Rob leans a little more right for sure than me, but I wouldn't necessarily say A, that he would vote, and B, that he would vote for Trump if he was gonna vote. I don't know. He is probably more liberal than people think he is. I would put him center right. He thinks Trump is a goon, but he also looks at Biden and the Democratic.
But he also goons to Trump.
Yeah, he's a gooner. So I don't know. Jamie is fun because her husband Cutter, who's my good buddy, known him for so long. Cutter full blown loves. He's a big conservative. I don't know if Jamie. I don't know. I don't know if she would also vote. Part of the thing I like to think about is she's going in there, no one's seeing who she's voting for. Maybe she's voting liberal, but I don't know. I don't know if that would cause an argument or not if he asked her. and she like told him who she did. I would definitely want to be there for that confrontation. But two of the best.
Somebody like really conservative.
Do you think I could? Is that what your question is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think, well, here, I take that back. I don't think I could long term be with somebody who is conservative. I think I could date.
Yeah, date might be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could date somebody with different political POV than me for sure. Especially if they're hot as fuck, dude.
Like if they're hot as fuck.
If they're hot as fuck, you don't fucking care, dude. Just like let me have that dick, brother.
I'll vote for whoever you tell me to.
Yeah, and but long term, you kind of have to like sync up on that stuff long term, don't you think?
Probably. Doesn't James Carville famously isn't he married to like a conservative woman or something? Am I making that? I could be making that.
No, I feel like I've heard something like that as well. But then like, what's her name? That ghoulish woman that worked for Trump. Her husband was when Trump was president, her husband was a Democrat, and she was obviously like super MAGA. So
I can see if you get too into politics, and maybe I'm at risk of this just by doing a news stream. Maybe politics is the only thing that turns you on, and you need to date a conservative so you feel that hot friction.
Yeah, reach across the aisle.
Friction.
Yeah, and I also, it makes me think when I hear that, like they just know it's all for show. Like they say things. It's like being on a podcast. You just like say whatever, and then you go home and you're just like regular, and no one.
It's like a theater romance. You did the play for so long that you just started dating.
Yeah.
Should we do one more?
Yeah, let's finish it up. And then we've got a couple calls already in the queue. Give us a call, 844-721-KASS. Give us a call. Tell us what's on your mind. You provide the content for this show.
Oh, wait, this is 83 seconds. Let me just make sure this isn't one we just played.
Hey, Kassem. I just wanted to call in and say...
Wait, that's the one we just played.
I think we just heard that one, yeah.
Hello, you sexy scoundrels. It's Mr. Delicious.
Mr. Delicious?
I want you to tell me, what are some things that make you go,
Ooh.
Big fan, thank you.
Okay. All right, what are some things
that make you go,
Oh, boy. God, my mom made me some pizzas for my birthday. I remember looking at them and I was like, I'm gonna wreck those. I'm gonna put those in. You know, I was pumped. I was hungry. Also, you know, I saw that photo of the MAGA boat parade that happened. I think it was over the weekend, and there was dudes flying swastika flags along with their Trump flags, and I saw that and I was like, yeah, catchphrase.
A boat parade.
Yeah, did you see that? Just look at.
I remember there being one last, like in the 2016
It's so
election
fun.
cycle.
Yeah, it was like some sort of boat rally. If you put in swastika or Nazi, you should see some real fun guys on the back of a boat.
Oh, yep, here it is. Why they gotta show up and ruin the otherwise harmless MAGA boat parade?
Yeah, there are boys. No, crazy. They don't even look that bad.
I thought conservatives were against wearing masks in for protests or whatever. Look at these guys. They're just rocking all sorts of masks.
It's just like when I see the Trump flag and the swastika on the flag, I just like it goes together like peanut butter and jelly.
Wait a minute. I just noticed My Wet Pillow. He's got a My Wet Pillow sign right here.
Is that what that says?
Yep, that's the My Wet Pillow guy. And they're just rocking the swastika.
Wait, why is it My Wet Pillow? Isn't it My Pillow? Is there the wet from something?
Oh God, I'm sorry. I did a sketch called My Wet Pillow, and now that's stuck in my head. It's just My Pillow.
Yeah, you did a sketch called My Wet Pillow. Check that out on YouTube, guys.
I'm so used to saying My Wet Pillow that I just call it that now.
Can we watch it? Can we watch My Wet Pillow before we take?
We can watch My Wet Pillow, I guess.
It's gotta be a short little guy, right?
Yeah, he's a minute long little My Wet Pillow guy.
Yeah, let's watch My Wet Pillow.
Let me just search wet really quick on here, and then I should be able to find it. Wet?
UK slowly overriding reality. Yeah. I think I did.
I did
a Talk Boy sketch years ago, and it became like the talk. When you put in Talk Boy commercial, it's the first one that pops up. I was really proud of that.
I don't think this is going to override anyone's algorithm, but it did override my own brain. Really just whiffing my own farts here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my wet pillow.
Okay, cool.
I'm Chris Billhog, and I've designed the world's wettest pillow. My wet pillow. No human can sleep, and I've tried every pillow on the planet, and most of them weren't wet at all. But I guarantee my wet pillow is so wet, you'll get the kind of sleep you can usually only get in a swamp.
I used to think sleep was torture. I'd wake up on a dry pillow with my neck feeling like it had just been shattered by a mallet. But my wet pillow saved my life. And I'd rather die than ever not ever have it again.
Thank you, my wet pillow. Look how much water I get when I squeeze my wet pillow. And it's still got water for days. But when you squeeze one of these generic pillows, I get practically no water at all. Woo, this pillow's wet. I can't even keep it dry. It refuses. Jesus Christ will be so mad at you if you don't get this pillow. It's only $38.99 times 10, and if you don't get it, you'll die. Please order today.
One
That's my wet pillow.
impossible price. That's really good.
I'm Chris Billhog.
Whoa, Chris, stop.
Who's the girl? Is the girl part of your sketch group in there?
That's my ex.
Oh, okay. She's really good at
So
that.
we gotta pretend. We just gotta not even talk about.
No, she's whatever, dude.
Yeah.
She's fine. Nothing there. Yeah, she was funny. What's the YouTube channel? Is that the Cigarette Sandwich YouTube channel? We got somebody link that.
Back when I used to, we used to do stuff with my sketch group on Twitch. It was my first Twitch thing. Is we'd put up an hour of like 1-minute sketches every once in a while.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that sketch.
That was filmed over quarantine, actually. So
yeah, you were
the only
losing
people
it.
around to act on our stuff were our partners.
Yeah. You had a little bit of like a loose. You're a little kooky. That was probably from the pandemic, right? What a great time to shoot sketch when everyone was just a little off.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're about to break up with the person you've been with. But hey, we all did that too. I bought a house with somebody that I'm currently not with. Let's get to Smokepacks. He's our number one caller. Reminder, 844-721 Kass. Call us. Tell us what's going on. Smokepacks wants to talk nukes and ghosts. Brother, I love to read that. Smokepacks, welcome to Call Kass.
Oh, I have him muted. Sorry. That's
Okay.
not you, Smokepacks. That's us. 1 second. There we go. We should be able to hear him now.
Hey, it was you guys this time. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, dude?
What's up, dudes? Yo, I got some stories for y'all today.
Love
some
it.
Real life truth. I think we're just gonna have to just get into it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Case,
let's
I
get
sent
into
you the files.
Wait, you sent me the files
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
I
Did you
sent
send
the
him some
files, Case,
media?
in the DM.
on Discord?
Get the files.
Yeah, I sent you
Okay.
some files.
Get the
me
files.
open up
Send you some
Discord.
files. Get the files. These are photos from 2019 of me when I went with my friends to go visit Chicago Pile 1, which is the world's first artificial nuclear reactor made with the Manhattan Projects underneath the University of Chicago Stagg Field.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay, Lee, I got the
Yeah.
files.
Okay.
fortunately.
Casey's
you
got
got
the
the
files. Wait, the Manhattan Project was in Chicago?
Chicago, New York, and California.
Oh.
It's pretty much.
What about Los Alamos?
I think. Yeah, that's all connected.
That's
Enrico
all the
Fermi is one of the dudes who was part of this.
Oh.
Okay. What am I looking at here? It's you standing next to a rock, and there's
That's the
Barney.
plaque, but that rock underneath it is Chicago Pile 1. Underneath it is buried the first artificial nuclear reactor. That's just a little
Oh,
preamble to the
really?
story. It's kind of
Wait.
a little,
So
yeah, a little
there was a
part.
nuclear reactor. Was it like a facility, or was it just like a room with a reactor in it? Like what? I'm confused on what I
it was
can be
underneath
imagining.
a football field at the University of Chicago. They had a metallurgical laboratory, and they
Oh.
just pretty much built an artificial nuclear reactor, which is just a bunch of types of, I guess, metals that you stack in blocks next to one another.
Okay.
And depending on how they're stacked and like blocked together, they could create a nuclear reaction.
Jesus Christ.
And
dude.
they all figured this all out. Yeah, it's like all the universities in America went like ham across all the multiple states in the U.S. just trying to get this all figured out. And there's a couple other nuclear reactors that they made in Chicago at the same time.
Wow.
First fission reactor is what Lord Servo's saying. That's cool. And underneath the football field, you're saying?
Yeah, that's where it was built. Where I'm standing in that photo is
Take that, jocks.
in the south suburbs. It's just buried in the woods. Like, it's just dead ass woods, and I'm just standing right there.
And what's that say? Is it just like kind of saying, "Here's what's underneath here. Congrats, you've made it this far."
First nuclear reactor.
Is there radiation there?
Yeah, it's like, yo, we did it.
Do you have to worry about that?
I don't think so. No, I mean, I'm still here.
Okay, Ungi needs to know what you're
There's no
wearing right
warnings,
now.
though.
By the way, sorry, we skipped that part. We're gonna only opt in for. Go ahead.
I'm wearing similar to that photo. I'm just wearing a flannel, shorts, my Fender T-shirt.
Hell yeah, Fender.
The usual.
Yeah,
Fender.
I can really
I mean,
picture.
I'm an Ibanez guy, but.
Oh, okay. Do you have an Ibanez shirt?
No,
It's
no.
weird,
no.
don't you think? Call yourself an
A little
Ibanez guy,
ironic,
but you
yeah.
have a Fender shirt. Yeah.
It's a little,
So that's nukes, but what about the ghosts part here?
So down the road from that nuke stuff is woods, and me and my friends, we all went to these woods, and inside the woods is a cemetery, and this cemetery is like, it's like a child cemetery, and it's like, I don't know, the size of like a backyard. And
Okay.
the photos I sent are photos I took off my phone at the time, and it's called Bachelor's Grove. It's a cemetery out in I don't know, southwest suburbs of Chicago, of Illinois. And it's just known for just being haunted. And growing up here, you get told about it, and you're told you gotta go there one day and, you know, just make the pilgrimage to get haunted there. And that was one of the first times where I actually had a haunting. So there's multiple different reported like ghost stories that you have to see there. There's the main like cemetery where people, when we were there, there's candles already lit. Like it looked like there's kind of activity already at the time. And then there's like toys and stuff littered about for the children's graves. And then you can go more into the woods, and there's like a river where a barn used to be, and there's like just haunting stories that you just kind of travel through. And me and like 5 of my friends, we all did this, and it was really kind of scary. So we went into the woods, even just 5 dudes. We're all kind of like, nah, this is fucked up. We gotta get the hell out of here. So we spent like maybe like 5-10 minutes in the woods around the river trying to find like the different hauntings. There's like a barn that like appears out of nowhere. There's like horses you're supposed to hear and stuff. And I don't know, we didn't see any of that, but we just felt like pretty sketched out. So we walked back into the cemetery and kind of just like walked about still, just took photos and stuff. And out of nowhere, I have my flashlight to my friend, and like a huge log like falls, like dead falls from the tree above him, like near him. Just straight dead falls. Like in my opinion, like someone was up there and just straight dropped it.
Yeah.
It was gonna hit him on the head. And I'm like, yo, watch out. After I said, yo, watch out, we hear this like mechanical like roaring, like a like, I don't know, it was weird. And then at the same time barking. It was like barking and then like a mechanical like winding up sound that didn't, we thought it was a truck but didn't sound like a truck. But after, it was like, I'm like, yo, watch out. The tree branch falls, we hear the noise. I straight turn and just run. I don't even know what happened. I'm like, I'm running. All my friends are running. And then as we're all kind of running out the cemetery, you're still more in woods. And it's like pitch black. So I'm like, I'm clearly the fastest of all my friends. Let's be real here. So I'm running like really fast. And I stop to see and catch everyone, just count the party where everyone's at. And we're missing my friend Liam. We're like, where's Liam? And he's running out from the pitch black, and he's in all black. He's like the guy who wears like boots and metal t-shirts and stuff.
Hell yeah.
and we all got freaked out seeing him running though, not knowing what it was. So we all kept running away from him. We get onto the main like road highway part, because it's like woods off the side of like a busy like expressway kind of road. It's kind of weird. And this is maybe at like 10 or 11 at night. And we kind of recount ourselves. We're like, okay, what the hell was that? What just happened? And I told my friend, like, yo, a branch almost fell straight onto you and completely missed you by like an inch. And it looked like, in my opinion, someone dropped it, dude. And he was like, what? And everyone was talking about the noise. And then immediately we're like, so we're going back in there, right? And as we're walking, we're like, yeah, we're going to go do this. We turn around to start walking. And then we're like, nah, let's live another day. And that's literally the story. That's it.
So you heard something crazy, a log fell, and then your friend, who's a metal dude, scared you guys. That's a pretty good one. Did you
say you heard like an unearthly metal noise, and that was potentially the ghost, like the Lost smoke monster style noises?
Well, yeah, it was like
what did it sound like? Do it again.
Barking. It was like, but at the same time, there's like, like at the same time. I can't do two noises at the same time, but if I could, you got combo them.
Okay, you do the R, I'll do the bark. Okay, so go ahead.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like that, like kind of like that, like if we.
Dude, that's gnarly.
And we just did, dude. We mobbed deep in there and thinking like we got numbers. It's like 5 dudes. We're all in bands. We're kind of just like there. We got this. Mm-hmm. And we just dipped. We were like, nah, this is not happening. Not tonight.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story. And like, I don't know if you, Case, did you ever have, because we had that place that when you were in high school, people would be like, dude, don't go there, man. If you go there, you got to make sure you put flour on your hood, because at the end of the night, you'll see handprints from the kids that died. Or, it's like, there's always a place, like there's a place called Scary Dairy where I grew up. And it was a barn that was across the street from a mental institution, okay? And the mental institution got turned into what is now Cal State Channel Islands. It's a college now, but it used to be a mental institution. Across the street from the mental institution was a barn, like a farmhouse, where a guy completely murder-suicided his whole family. But the barn still stood, and you could go in there, like you would like park on the side of the road, and you would just like bring some flashlights, and you just dare each other to like go inside. And you get in there, and it's just a bunch of fucking like, like cigarettes and beer cans from all the other kids that just did it. But there was always a place that you could go and that had a story behind it. Everyone got scared. I believe like every town had one. Did you have one, Case, where you grew up?
My friends were scared of my house. At least when we were little, because it was like this big, like thin corridor kind of semi-mansion. Like half the rooms were empty at night. It did look very haunted. Yeah. And honestly, it had spooky vibes. My brother and I mentioned I thought I saw a ghost in the basement when I was really little, but there always was kind of like late at night, a little bit of an unsettling feeling. And when my dad started losing his mind, he started seeing ghosts everywhere. And I was like, is he losing his mind? Or are there ghosts all over this house?
Yeah, it could be both. Yeah, it's Wolf Dog. Wolf Dog in the chat says that was our spooky place too. Ruins of an old mental institution. The ruins were in the middle of a big public park for like 50 years before they cleaned it up in the late 2000s. Lady Cedric says one of the high schools I went to was in the town with one of the first mental hospitals. That was a spooky spot. It's always the spooky mental institutions, man, because the shit that they did, especially in like, pre-50s, 60s, everyone was just getting like electrocuted and like lobotomies, and it's just one flew over the cuckoo's nest type shit. I totally believe it, man. I totally believe it. Love it. That video that Case was playing was, it seems like it's a pretty well-known spot. It seems like a lot of ghost hunters go there.
Yeah, there's a ton of YouTube videos for it.
Tons of ghost hunters. There's even, so going back to when that log fell, there's a homeless dude who lives in there who argues with a lot of the local ghost hunters and some of the YouTubers who go there. Mm-hmm. He's called the Caretaker. I speculate he set all that up, like the noises, and was in the tree, and like I speculate this homeless dude's in there kind of fucking with people. That's just me. But it did still feel like there's a real haunted presence because it's just a heavy energy when you walk in. Woods at night are already crazy, but like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's literally a cemetery in the middle of the woods off the side of the highway.
See, to me, that's scarier than the ghost. That there's just like a schizophrenic guy in the cemetery that likes to fuck with people. That would make me stay away from it for sure.
Yeah, that's like real. Yeah,
I only found out from YouTube because I started YouTubing that place and I see that guy is on there. I'm like, oh my god! I kind of put it all together.
Yeah.
My friends still don't believe me, but whatever.
Yeah, there's always one or two friends that just like they pretend like they don't believe, but I feel like they really are scared and they just don't want to accept it. It's always been that way. So Breachy says, I live in a 110-year-old house, went to the school in an old convent built in the 1800s and lived down the road from an 1800 cemetery, and the only ghost experience I've had was when my sister and cousin fucked with a Ouija board and got a ghost stuck in my Nana's house. What?
There's a ghost in my Nana.
Don't fuck with Ouija boards, guys. Mr.
Bill,
Smith.
I fucked with Ouija boards.
Oh, you can't, dude. They will.
No, I don't want to cut him off, but I fucked with them, bro. I'm here still.
Well, I have too, dude. I have too. But I tell you, something always weird happens with a Ouija board. I don't know if I've ever played with a Ouija board and something didn't weird happen, but there is a lot of like energy. Yeah, you are asking.
If you're in a horror movie, that's absolutely a way to get yourself killed. I try to avoid those kinds of decisions, like the will get you killed in a horror movie decisions.
Yeah. And anything that's near the woods, by the way, it's like Daedalus says, woods at night are already crazy. The woods adds so much to the ambiance, and like when we were Bigfoot hunting, just being out in the middle of the forest, anything was scary. It didn't matter. Everything was just scary. You don't belong there. It's like being in the ocean. You just like don't belong there. It's like where animals live. Is that a Luigi?
Yeah, courtesy of Snapjay Duncan, dropping the Ouija board in chat.
Oh,
no, I found the Ouija board. I found was in the woods.
Oh my god,
it was like buried
no!
In the ground,
oh,
kinda.
Loose,
Yeah.
wild Ouija board.
A loose board.
Yeah,
Dude,
100.
A loose Ouija.
You cannot do loose board.
Yeah, it was loose Ouija.
You can't loose Ouija, brother.
These loose Ouijas all over town are destroying our city.
Smoke, thank you, brother. Thanks for the super fun,
y'all.
spooky story, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, see y'all soon. Later.
All right, see you, bud. See you, bud. Bonsai Bullfrog. Bonsai Bullfrog is on the line. He's been waiting 30 minutes now. Bonsai,
sorry about that.
Welcome to Kass. What's going on? How are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. Just getting into the second hour of the show here. We got a little spook so far. What about you? What's going on with you?
I just called in to continue the OTK pile on earlier.
Yeah. What do you think of all that?
Well, I mean, they had Rich, who was accused of awful things. They had Miskiff, who covered up awful things. And Asmongold just seems to be like a guy that tries to be aggressively centrist and just ends up being like conservative.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Look, here's the thing: is like Miskiff seems to just be back and bigger than ever. Did people, and I don't really tune into a lot of it, but like obviously we're no stranger to like making fun of Miskiff here on the stream. But is Miskiff people found wasn't problematic because all he did was quote unquote cover up stuff as opposed to actually committing the crime? Did he make an apology that we believe? Like what happened there with Miskiff? I thought we were done with this.
I just think he just went away for a while. They did a self-paid for investigation, and they just said, and yeah, after that kind of cleared him of the thing since they paid for it. He kind of just went away for a little while, came back. That's how everyone gets away from cancellation.
Okay. Yeah, Sporophyte in the chat here. Sporophyte says Miz was found not to cover up anything, actually. So maybe he was found innocent of any wrongdoing, potentially.
He was found innocent by the investigation that he paid for.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I love when they do quote unquote independent investigations that they finance. Kind of like the Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if he hadn't been, though.
I mean, now Mr. Beast has Lunchables out now, so.
Yeah. I mean, Dr. Disrespect basically showed us that even when you're just expressly admit to things, a chunkier or a big chunkier audience, especially if you're like a streamer with a really loyal audience, is just going to be there anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's from what I understand, the Dr. Disrespect thing is he is not able to monetize on YouTube. I guess he reapplied. No monetization on YouTube. And Kick is not going to offer him a contract, but I think he's still free to stream there. I think Kick knows that he's out of options, so if he doesn't monetize on YouTube, he'll probably just stream on Kick, but doesn't seem to really be slowing down his numbers, but it does seem to be putting a dent in his wallet a little bit, because you know, those subscriptions on YouTube really did add up, I imagine, for him, but he's still not hurting from what I understand.
If you were Mr. Beast and you were being accused of hiring a pedophile, would you sell like Lunchables to kids? Like, it kind of brings up the fact that yeah.
That's a very good question, Bonsai.
Yeah, I've been having this sort of conversation. This has come up, but the Mr. Beast thing has come up quite a bit, actually. You know, and we haven't really talked about it on this stream here, but my position seems to be that he really just loves money, because if he was interested and he really was the philanthropic person that he wants everyone to think that he is, he could really disrupt the lunch food industry. It would be a lot less profitable, I'm sure. It would be harder to grow, but he could really change the game when it comes to what kids are eating, potentially, right? And instead of offering a super processed, preservative-filled box of fucking junk, which we have tried on this very program, or we did it on the Patreon, I forget, he could like go like, listen, part of the new philanthropic effort I'm going to be doing is, instead of digging 100 wells in Africa, I'm going to try and like make sure every fucking kid eats an avocado or a fucking apple a day. Like, it's just something that is anti whatever the kid industry is, like sugary cereal in the morning. Like, think about what your school gave to you. In my middle school, it was donuts, pretzels, and then you got to visit the Candy Shack in between, where you could get Shock Tarts, gummy bears. At lunch, it was nachos, pizza. We had fucking McDonald's and Taco Bell when I got into high school. Like, I don't think I had an option to really eat anything that was super healthy. And if you're Mr. Beast and you have all that influence, and the one thing you don't have to really worry about is, are people going to buy my thing? People are going to buy whatever it is you make. Yeah. Why not make that thing?
I mean, his Beast Burgers were bad, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly my point.
They were still financially successful for him, right?
Yeah.
At least for a bit.
Sure.
I mean, he doesn't care if it's good. I mean, he has the ability to make it good. He realizes he'll make more money if it's not good and just has his name on it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's just like,
yeah, that's exactly
like
the point I'm making.
Kind of like Trump selling the.
Like the Kardashians
Trump,
can.
Like it says.
Sorry, please go ahead, Bonsai.
I was going to say, Trump sells Bibles and sits there and says how awful it is, and then he literally outsources them from China. It's like, China's so awful, but here's Bible from China. Here's a shoe from China that you could buy for $100, but I'm selling for $5.
Or like the Kardashians are just an example, but so many influencers essentially just outsource they're approached by brands or products that are like, put your name on this, we'll make billions of dollars potentially. I say billions because the Kardashians did. However, you have to give it up to the Kardashians. Based on every girl I've dated, some of the makeup products they make apparently, or brand, are apparently actually kind of good. So in the competition of Kardashian versus Beast. I guess it goes to them.
Yeah, I think. Look, yeah. So the point is, he's doing it all, and he's very interested in the profit of things, which is evident by this Lunchley thing. I think, which is fine. It's just a lot of what he sells us is his philanthropic stuff, and I think he could easily extend that into this type of thing, which is like not selling junk to kids, but I don't know, maybe that stuff funds the philanthropic stuff. I don't know. I just know that he's not helping anyone with selling junk. That's
your question though, Bonsai Bullfrog. If I employed a pedophile knowingly, I think I would then sell Lunchley to kids, because apparently I'm completely fine with exploiting children in every way imaginable, which does seem to be where Mr. Beast is coming from, based on his reaction to all of this news. So I guess the answer would unfortunately be yes. I'm hoping I wouldn't employ a pedophile though, knowing
the pedophile thing seems to come and gone. Like, I haven't heard any updates with that.
Just slid out. Honestly, the whole thing seems to kind of just washed over. His numbers are the same.
It's cool, man.
Lunchley's probably gonna make them all money. The real victim here is KSI's music career. The only victim.
Dad. All right. Yeah, Bonsai. Thanks for calling and thanks for sparking the discussion, buddy.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye.
We'll see you next week potentially. Thanks for calling, Kass. Look, I think. By the way, I had a crazy dream with Mr. that included Mr. Beast. Now that I remember, and and I'll tell you guys this. I didn't want, as Ashley wanted to tell her stream about it. I'm like, no, let me save it. I had a dream last night that me and I forget who it was, but we wanted to bust Mr. Beast. We were working for Mr. Beast, and I had Ashley and some other girl offer to suck his dick underneath a table if he would come and like do this thing, and we were gonna like film it and expose him or something like that.
Bust him in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, we're gonna bust his ass. And then I told her that, she just started busting up. But I was like about to pimp you out. But we weren't really gonna do it. We were just gonna like catch him in the act, and then we're gonna topple the empire. Yeah, that was if you were tuning into Ashley's stream today, that's what the dream was. I was gonna have her offer to suck his dick but it had to be underneath a table, and
swordfish style. He's hacking. He's getting blown.
The test of his hacking skills. God, what a great scene.
That is such a hilarious. I feel like, they say you can't make movies like whatever anymore. I don't know if you could get away with this swordfish.
I don't know, dude.
On Netflix anymore.
I don't know. That was such a. How many kids wanted to be hackers after that? After the movie Hackers and after Swordfish, we all wanted to be a hacker, right?
Yeah.
That was it. God damn. A lot of dick sucking.
I love that kind of dream though, where you're just making the most bizarre like movie decisions, but they're like 10 degrees off.
Yeah.
Like, you blow him and then we get him.
Yeah, we get him. And the other thing was, like, we were at a restaurant, and me and this like guy, I don't know, I was like, I guess I was on a date now that I say it out loud. And then it turned out that Mr. Beast, like, we had Mr. Beast cards to pay for it, and then once we realized that, we both ordered the most expensive steak. It was like a $500 steak, and I was eating it on the way to go bust his ass. And I remember that. I was like, I guess I really wanted meat tonight. And
I think all my dreams are kind of sex dreams, but not in a sexy way. Sex pops up, but it's always like a thing where I'm like, oh, we got all fuck, but it's like an inconvenience. It's like we're trying to get to a restaurant, but like we got busy. There's people fucking and it's getting in the way.
Yeah, it's like, I just want to eat.
Yeah, I want to eat. But there's all this fucking happening. I don't know if that says anything about my psyche or fantasies, but it happens a lot in my dreams.
You're a dirty bird. Electric Man is on the line, and then we've got an anonymous who wants to talk Miles Davis. First, Electric Man, welcome to Call Kass. How goes it, brother?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that, Mr. Beast dream story.
You just go, man. You just
dive
do it.
in.
Seems like you got it out for him.
Yeah. That's right. It does seem that way.
You got it out for him, all right.
I pulled it out for him.
It's weird because I think in all, I think if you're trying to sum up the last couple of conversations since I tuned in, it's just like it's a weird world, man. It's just
Amen, dude.
It is
What do
so
you
weird
mean?
out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think for me in the last month or so, I think like the best microcosm of that I've experienced was in a hospital waiting room.
Ooh.
So that is like just a microcosm of just like all walks of life and crazy things happening, both good, bad, funny, and indifferent. So like I was in there like around Memorial Day. I had long story. I was in the hospital for a couple days, but that's not why I called. Just the weird things that happen. So I'm getting wheeled back for an X-ray, and they always have like some young kid get you and wheel you back to wherever they're gonna go, and we're just walking through the hospital hallway, and you're in a wheelchair. You can't help but just kind of act like a little kid, and like you're looking out the window trying to find things to like look at or whatever. And I see this couple, like middle-aged couple, like maybe in their early 50s, like walking towards me. And this guy's got like both hands in his pocket, walking. Like the only time you ever really see that is like a little kid who has to really has to go to the bathroom, like trying to hold it. But he doesn't have a happy look on his face. And his wife or partner next to him, right next to him, like lockstep. And I look, and she also has a hand in one of his pockets. So there's two hands, one pocket in a hospital. And then I proceed to see a lot of shuffling going on in said pocket. And this is the middle of the hallway. Walking. And I look what I'm seeing, and then I look at the guy's face. The guy does not look happy. Like, I don't know if he's like sad with the performance or what's going on. It is not good. And I kind of don't believe what I'm seeing. And I yell at the kid who's wheeling me, and I'm like, did you just see that? And he goes, yeah. He's like, is that what I think it was? He's like, I don't want to say it, but I think so. Right? And this is just after I was in there where the kid is, wailing about his, it's a crazy world. And I'm sorry, I'm like rambling here, but the main reason why I called is, was I'm trying to I have another story that's not as rambly. When I was in the hospital recently. And so I had to get a procedure done that involved like 2 deep cuts in my leg, and I had to get nerve blocks put in.
Shit.
So it's like an actual procedure. It's done in like your normal room, and you sign off. Like you have to sign off for consent for them to do the procedure for a nerve block. So they do the first one, they localize the area, they get the nerve, they stop the one. I'm like, okay, great. I can't look at the needles and stuff just like most people. Well, the second one I have to sit more upright, and my eyes just happen to catch the needle, and I'm not looking to you. It's like a short, like broadsword. Like it's long, it's nasty, and this thing's about to go into my knee. And I'm like cold sweats, freaking out. I look over the elevated in the bed, and this guy's about to like 2-hand stab me in the leg, and I'm like freaking out. As that's happening, 2 nuns walk in the room, like randomly. Like no one's allowed to be in the room. 2 nuns walk in, and I'm like, and when I say walk in, it was like they disrupted what was going on. Like I'm about to be stabbed like a 12-inch long needle, and they caused such a kerfuffle that the the people who walked, the doctors who were doing the procedure, like peeked outside the curtain to see like who the hell it was, and they're like, it was so weird and awkward. They kind of just like shook their head and got back to like torturing me. And as this is going on, like I'm getting stabbed, the localization doesn't work, so I'm like screaming in pain.
Oh Jesus!
They start giving this guy communion next door to me, and the old guy that's in the room with me, who's sitting there, can't talk, barely. And it sounds like he's speaking in tongues as I'm getting like stabbed.
Who's possessed?
So the punchline is, I'm getting an exorcism, and he's getting blessed next to me, like in the same room.
Two nuns walking into a room.
I'm trying to find a better way to tell the story.
Just saying two nuns walk in is like it's such a joke reality thing. Like I don't know if I've ever been just like hanging out and two nuns kind of just wander into a room and I notice and be like,
dude,
two nuns walked in.
I can't make this up. Like, yeah, like my hand to God. It was like, I'm like, what is going on? You know?
That's wild.
But I'm trying to get the story better and actually set up the punchline. I can't do it. So
the idea of sharing a
a
hospital room with someone else it's always
crazy.
Been weird to me. It's like I don't know how they group them. It feels like it could be just anything. One guy could be near death, the other one could have like a sprained ankle, and they're both in the same room. And it just doesn't seem. It's like they're just doing this to save space. Shouldn't these people be in different rooms? Shouldn't people just have their own rooms? I don't know. I don't understand how hospitals work. So many people die. Everyone you see in a hospital is having the worst day of their life. You got people getting jerked off in the hallway. You get people who just lost their loved ones. You got new life that's being born in there. Like, what a weird building.
Hospitals are insane. The line of like
a weird world.
The line between sanity and insanity is extremely permeable in a hospital. Like, granted, the last time I spent a lot of time in one was when my dad was dealing with dementia. But even outside of his dementia, I was like, this place is fucking nuts. I don't know how doctors hold it together for 2 seconds.
It's crazy.
No, they're weird creatures, man, because they have to like deal with all that and then either look at it with like indifference or just have to like react to it and like shut it down. Like there's no in between. Like they can't really joke with you. They can't really laugh at the situation. Like they just have to like roll with it.
It's like the DMV if half the people at the DMV were bleeding to death. But it's got the very similar energy other than the presence of incessant death at all times.
Yeah, it's logistics. It's a whole building made to like compartmentalize, herd, corral, categorize all the different people that are in there who are experiencing life-changing problems.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
And then it's a doctor's job to walk into a room and be like, how we doing?
Yeah.
As normal as possible.
Like he knows damn well how you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the dumbest question.
He walks into a room where someone's getting an exorcism, there's a blessing, you have like a broadsword in your leg. He's like, so, how are we feeling?
That's wild, dude. Are you allowed to say, or do you want to say what was going on with the Electric Man, or is it too personal?
No. I wound up getting 2 separate pockets of MRSA on my leg, like randomly.
What pockets of what?
Luckily, they caught it in time. MRSA, like an infection.
Oh, Jesus. Did
MRSA.
that happen? Like, was that initiated from something, or did it just randomly occur?
They have like apparently it's like one of those things that's just like always out there. It's just a matter of like how it gets into the body. So they have like their theories. Like I didn't have any like, crazy cuts in me or whatever. It could be something as simple as like, I don't know, like a hangnail, or like you were working out in the lawn, you kind of cut your hand on a branch or whatever. It just finds your way in the bloodstream.
Yeah.
And that one can be like a range from like, it looks like a little pimple to like, there's a hole where your foot used to be.
Oh man.
Like it's a pretty big broad
and that's
line.
the crazy thing too, is like they the fact that it was in 2 different spots at the same time. Every time I've gone, and unfortunately I've had to, I've had a lot of hospital experience in the last 7-8 years of my life. That's not a brag. It's not a humble brag, believe me. It's different every time, but I wound up being a case study. Like every time it's like so weird that I have all the residents come in the room. They're like, wow, this is amazing. I'm like, oh yeah, this is real amazing. I really want to be in here right now, having like, 12 different sets of eyeballs looking at my wounds and stuff.
Oh,
it's real great.
Wow.
The jugglers come in, the nuns come in.
Yeah. Jeez,
a
well,
Hispanic guy, a
it just
Jewish
drives me
guy,
crazy.
and an Irish guy walk into my hospital room.
glad you're better.
I got lucky though.
Electric
yeah,
Man.
thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't have like the flesh eating crap, but luckily they caught it quick enough to where they were able to get it out and
glad you're doing well.
Antibiotics and stuff. So
well, good. I wish you some fortune. I hope you don't have to step into a hospital for a while. Okay, unless it's for good news.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Unless like you're getting you have a baby delivered. Let's see what else. What's other good hospital news? You pick up that's like where you get your lottery check that you won randomly. Did it right in front there.
You're just there to pick up some lunch leaf from the hospital
job or
cafeteria.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Mr. Beast lunch leaf now in hospitals. I can't wait for that to happen.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Yeah. All right, Electric Man. Thanks for calling in, brother. Hit us next week if you're around.
Yeah, man.
Have a good one.
Okay, buddy. See ya. Jeez, you gotta be careful out there, guys. MRSA, I've never heard of it. Never heard of it. Cheesy crazy. Last time I was at the hospital, it was when Ash took that spill. Remember how Ashley got a concussion?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God.
I feel like she's just getting over it, and this was like 4 months ago. This shit fucks you up, guys. Yeah, fucking.
Well, concussions are crazy. They'll stick with people for like a year.
It's crazy, dude. Just crazy, man. Anonymous is on. He's this is gonna be our final call before we end the stream. He wants to talk Miles Davis. I'm interested. I actually don't know a whole lot about Miles Davis. Caller, you're on Call Kass. Can you hear us? Are you there?
I can hear you. Hey, how you doing? Good night.
Hey, what's up, brother? What's going on?
Nothing much. Just watching this Miles Davis movie called Miles Ahead.
Okay, so you're watching a Miles Davis movie.
More about him. This probably isn't.
Sorry, I talked over you there. Go ahead. Well, tell us about Miles Davis.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. Well, you said you wanted to know more about Miles Davis, but this isn't. I wouldn't say this is the movie to watch. You should probably listen to some music. But what I wanted to say was that in his later years, he was been doing a quarter ounce of cocaine a day.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive, you know? Yeah. And so my question is, if reincarnation was real, what kind of animal would you like to reincarnate into?
Good question.
Okay, so it's not Miles Davis related, right? I don't have to come back as a form of Miles Davis.
No, it was just something I was watching. Yeah.
I didn't know Don Cheadle played Miles Davis. I feel like that movie must have been a stinker. Otherwise, biopics, they always got to get.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
This just must have washed over me. I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, when did this come out? What year is it? 2016? No one was alive then. This is a figment of our imagination. It's not real. It's a Mandela effect. If I had to get reincarnated, man, I'd love to be like a good. I used to say I want to be a good dog, but cats live longer. You know what I mean? I feel like a good cat. But then you wouldn't go outside. I think I'd be a good doggy. I think I'd be the doggy of someone who really loved me. And I don't know. I feel like that's a cheap answer, but when you think about it, you're just like always stoked for the most part to see your owner. You get to go on walks, sometimes multiple a day. You're not getting bogged down by politics. You're not worried about who's doing what. Really, the only thing is sometimes your best friend leaves and then he comes back and then you're stoked again. Like it's the highs are high and the lows probably aren't too low, I imagine. Could be in a good dog. Either that or like a praying mantis. I feel like that's a sexually charged insect.
Oh yeah.
Looks sick.
To allow your partner to consume you.
Yeah, but I'd be a female one, you know. I don't want to be one of the fucking dudes that get to bone but then gotta die. Too many insects. The males have the short end of the stick there. You know, I feel like being the woman, unless you're a male seahorse, because they take care of the eggs, you know, might pay to be a female of the species. Is that too many answers?
No, I was gonna say if I could interject on the dog thing, that's best case scenario type of thing.
Yeah.
What if you get an owner who just likes to fucking just beat the shit out of you?
That's true.
You know? That'd be very unfortunate.
That's a risky take. That's a risky take. I don't know. I mean,
Can I give a totally unfair answer?
Yeah.
In the sense that this isn't a real animal, but longtime fans of me will know that this is of course my answer. If I can even, I'm trying to find it. Oh, can I find it? Okay, keep talking, Kass. I gotta find this.
I also feel like an elephant would be kind of cool. I feel like there's not a whole lot besides little mice that scare you. You're one of the biggest, actually the biggest land mammal. You have a killer memory. You can paint. Your kids are adorable, and you're hard to kill. Like that'd be a good one. A blue whale would be cool, but I feel like I'm scared of water in that way. You'd be a blue whale?
Answer.
Some sort of whale.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you couldn't go wrong with a whale.
It's so big. And your penis is so
Just in the
huge that you
water.
can like support a roof with it. Put it in the corner.
That's right.
That's sick.
Okay, my answer is the squibbin 200 million years in the future. It's been burned into my brain permanently, courtesy of the Discovery Channel.
Dude, this
That
show
200
was
billion years in the future. There will be primate squids.
Yeah, it's just a show is like, what if we just made this whole shit up and did it all in computers and like we pretended it had some sort of validity?
Mm-hmm.
What are these little spider monkeys? What are
they're
these?
little monkeys that used to be squids. They're on land now, Kass. They do still look a lot like squids.
They do look a lot. Looks like I'm watching Alien, like a form of like one of the aliens from Covenant or Prometheus the Deacon. I think a turtle would be what's up too. Yeah.
This is a Discovery show in like the 2012 proximity, or maybe like 2008, where they just projected what would happen after humans inevitably die off, what would evolve, and they decided squid monkeys.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. It seemed like a gigantic, just like guessing game of what would happen if things kept evolving. But you know, that was also
my answer would it honestly be a future animal, just so I can see what happens. If I still have any memories of my past life, I can be like, oh, that's what happened 200 million years in the future.
Yeah, they took some swings. Remember when I don't know if you remember this, but they did this thing, I think this was on Discovery, where they passed a fake mermaid documentary off as like a real thing.
I remember that, yeah.
And everyone was like, what the fuck is this? And they were like, we just thought it was fun. Like, it's fake, but like, we just thought it was fun. It's like, first of all, you never said it was fake. Everyone online was like, fuck, mermaids are real. I remember for a second, I was like, oh shit. And it turns out those are real.
Fuck, mermaids are real?
Oh, fuck, they're are they coming? Yeah, it was just really irresponsible because dumb guys like me are going to watch that and be like, I fucking knew it, dude. I can hear their siren song if you go out into the ocean at the right time of night. I'd be a mermaid. I changed my answer. and that mermaid could be a beluga whale because sometimes.
Anonymous, let me ask you this. If you could be any cryptozoological type animal, you got to pick?
Mm-hmm. Caller?
Cryptos, I would
like a fantasy creature?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was a fantasy creature. I would be a ghost.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's what's up, man.
That's a good answer.
Because sometimes they don't even know they're ghosts, and you could just be living a normal life.
Some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not?
Who knows how long you'll be around, too? Sort of immortal, kind of.
You could just be there randomly. Who knows where I get to hunt, you know? Maybe
Dude,
I
that's
get to
what's
hunt
up.
some fucking random, you know, why not?
That's a great answer, and that's a great way to end the show tonight. Thanks for the call. Hit us up next week if you're around.
All right.
Thanks, Anonymous.
All right, thank you. Guys, that's going to do it for the show tonight. I'm going to hit the subs. Thank all the subs here in a second. I want to remind you guys that Wednesday is our Patreon. I want to give a big shout out to Dank Sauce for doing our call screening. Check him out on his Twitch channel. I tried to shout him out in the chat. Did that work? I might have to do it over here. He does GTA RP. He's a member of our community. He's a really great dude. And you can follow him at Dank Sauce on Twitch. Before I go, I want to thank all the subs real quick, and then I will see you guys in a couple days. Wired Mod Games, thanks for the follow. iPoosk, thanks for 21 months. Good to see you back. Brian Villa, thanks for gifting out a sub, my friend, to Atlas Void. Welcome in, Atlas. Can of Bean, thanks for the follow. Bonsai, thank you for 24 months. Speaking of how awful OTK is, they can't get a call-in show like this up and running Will say call Donna is up to them. By the way, we like some of the OTK people. We like Will. We like Avali. We just don't like some of them. Those people, you know who they are. Gnome Pro, thank you for 2 years. He said it's 24 months. 2 goddamn years. Thank you, Gnome Pro. And thank you, Amethyst, for 24 months as well. It's another 2 years from Amethyst. God, that's a long time. This is Kevin's here. He gave a community gift sub. Thank you for gifting a sub. This is Kevin. Staunton is back for 22 months. Thank you, Staun. Metal Chaos back for 22 months. Thank you, Metal. Thanks for the nice birthday message the other day. Snap J resubscribed with Prime. By the way, Snap J has he called in about his advice. Remember, he had that catchphrase, and he called us, and we kind of gave him instruction to like act more like a pimp. And there's an update there. He sent me a photo. I should play it or show it on the next show. Remind me. Snap J's here for 2 years. Microphone 900 with the 500 biddies. Thank you, Microphone. Matt Liddell for the 2 years. Gosh, he says 2 years. Holy shit. Where has the time gone? Let's go. Thank you, Matthew. Psychor, thanks for the eight folks that you brought in with the raid. Thank you, brother. And that's going to do it for me on my end. Case, what's your week like?
Should be on tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday is a little... Oh, no, not Wednesday. But I should be on tomorrow. And then I can update everybody if you're desperate to check out my stuff this week. The Amazon job is going to fuck with my schedule this week a little bit.
That's good. Awesome. Check them out tomorrow. And then we'll see you on the Patreon Wednesday. We're going to be watching. We did 2 episodes of the Vince McMahon doc last week. So I think we're up to 3, 4. We're on episode 5. And then there's episode 6. And that's going to be it. And then we'll figure out the next thing to watch. If you want to join our watch parties, we do it as a part of our Patreon. You get a podcast that we do Wednesdays every week. And then we do watch-alongs and stuff. Join us. ! Patreon. Or you can go to patreon.com. /thecream_team. So we'd love to have you and join the fam. And you can also join our Discord. That's free. ! Discord. Get in there. Join us. And that's a great way to know when we're live, what we're up to, when the watch-alongs are, when the Patreon is. And you just get a bunch of cool people in there. So that's it for me. Thank you, Case. Thanks for another great week, buddy.
Thank you, Cass.
And I'll see you guys Wednesday.